boy. Hi, boy.
Hey guys, so we are live, and so a lot of different things going on right now, but the main thing is the stuff that's going on with Iran still, and the precursor to World War III if China, Russia, and North Korea get involved. So we're gonna just be looking at some of the stuff that's going on, some of the shenanigans that's going on over here, and see what's up. So right now I have breaking news live. Iran launches hypersonic missiles, US on high alert amid escalation. So let's go ahead and listen
How
in.
to stop the Israeli aggression? Well, of course, the door for diplomacy should be always keep open, but this is not the case right now. My country has been under attack, under aggression, and we have to respond based on our legitimate right of self-defense. And we will do that as long as needed and necessary.
We'd now like to take a question from Al Jazeera. Thank you very much, Minister. So you say that you need to respond right now, but we know that Iranians are known for their talents in negotiations in diplomacy and trade. What will be the conditions after responding for Iran to come back to a negotiation table, maybe with the US as well? And Turkey has been offering that Ankara can mediate for a trilateral between Turkey, US, and Iran.
Russia always has been, and remains, a reliable supplier of energy resources for all our partners, including, incidentally, European ones. And we will continue to work in exactly this mode with those of our partners who are themselves reliable counterparties. With such partners, for example, as in Eastern Europe, as in Slovakia, as in Hungary, we supply them with our energy resources, both oil and gas, and intend to continue doing so in the future, if of course the leadership of these countries pursues the same policy as today, namely, they will be reliable partners for us. As for Europe, what is happening today on European markets is, of course, first and foremost, the result of the mistaken policy of European authorities in the energy sector. This is the abuse of the green agenda. This is the use of all these instruments for domestic political activity and achieving party or some group goals. Such a policy has nothing to do with the interests of the peoples of these countries.
With
Our
everything
prices
that's happened
have indeed
in
risen,
Venezuela,
both for oil and for gas. As for oil, it is understandable. This is connected, among other things, with restrictions on Russian oil. And additionally, everything that is happening now in the Middle East with the aggression against Iran, all of this overlaps with one another and leads to such a difficult, grave, frankly speaking, result for consumers. As for gas, the spike in prices on the European market is not even directly connected today with restrictions on gas supplies to the European market. After
조선노동당 총비서이시며 조선민주주의인민공화국 국무위원장이신 경애하는 김정은 동지께서 조선노동당 중앙위원회 비서 조춘용 동지, 조선노동당 주동지.
With everything that's happened in Venezuela and Iran, particularly the forced removal of their leaders by military operations involving the US.
I found this video on that was coming across my feed in regards to North Korea. Now there was like, I guess, speculation that he was going to a nuclear like ship that he was testing out or something like that. And they were saying, is North Korea now entering the Iranian war? I know Russia at first was on the fence about it. China is just, I think, waiting. They're waiting. Personally, I think they're waiting in the wings because they're going to wait to see what we do, because while we're distracted with what's going on in Iran, it'll be easier for them to take Taiwan. So I think that's what China's end goal is for their end game. Russia, I have no clue. I don't know if they're just going to go full force and just take Ukraine. So we're going to see where this is all going, but this is starting to heat up fast, guys. So let's go ahead and listen in.
We might naturally ask, how is North Korea responding to all this? And can South Korea offer any reassurance despite being labelled by Pyongyang as its most hostile enemy? Yes, North Korea may be able to console itself with the knowledge that powerful regional players like China and Russia might act as a deterrent, because the US would surely not want to risk a direct military conflict with them. But still, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un might see what's happening in the world right now and be more determined than ever to accelerate the North's development of nuclear weapons to keep the US at bay. North Korea also over the weekend strongly condemned the military strikes against Iran by the US and Israel, calling them gangster-like conduct, a thoroughly unlawful act of aggression, and a gross violation of sovereignty. However, North Korea appears to be careful not to criticize American President Donald Trump personally. Having seen what happened to Iran and Venezuela, if efforts at dialogue break down, the North may see a summit between Kim and Trump as a way to stabilize its security interests, even if it carries risk if talks go wrong. Interestingly, Kim has also made his first public appearance since the current US operation targeting Iran started, and some see this as an attempt to demonstrate that he's not intimidated. According to North Korea's state media on Monday, Kim visited a cement factory in North Hwanghae province where he called for all-out efforts to boost production. As for South Korea, the presidential office here has said it's monitoring North Korea, given what's happening in Iran, and will continue to strive to ease inter-Korean tensions. On Sunday, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung urged the North to return to talks with the US, insisting that hostility and confrontation serve neither side's interests. He also emphasized that his administration respects the North Korean system and will not pursue any form of unification by absorption, nor engage in any hostile acts. But it's the US that currently has the North's attention, and we'll see what happens when Trump arrives in the region for some high-profile talks this spring.
So yeah, so that one is like how Ukraine is, I guess, not Ukraine, North Korea is reacting to the situation. I know he was, I guess you would say, battle testing his ship. So I don't know. We're just kind of playing it, like as we go. But I have no idea how this is going to affect anything coming soon. Now, I know, like, everybody's talking about this. Like, everybody. Like, my feed on X and on YouTube, all my feeds, they're just talking about this nonstop about Iran, and is Russia coming in now? Is China coming in? Is North Korea coming in to the mix now? And so we're just kind of sitting and waiting to see what is going to be done. We have no clue yet. So I guess, like, just like everybody else, we're all just kind of sitting and waiting and playing it by ear.
Let's get some analysis now with.
So we'll see how that goes. I have this other video that I want to share with you guys. So go ahead and look at this video. This is from Sky News Australia, China and Russia scared of Trump after witnessing the powerful might of America in Iran. So let's go ahead and jump into this video.
With Greg Sheridan, he's foreign editor at The Australian. Greg, great to see you. A momentous series of events in the Middle East over the last couple of days. I want to ask you, where does it go from here?
Well, Kieran, great to see you and great to be back after a short absence. Look, it's intensely unpredictable from here. Iran is massively weakened by Trump's action. I think Trump is going to redefine, incidentally, grey zone conflict. The Iranians, even before the Chinese and Russians, were masters of attacking the US without doing it formally with their own military, and thinking that that meant the US wouldn't attack them. Well, that's over. Iran has attacked pretty well all the Gulf states and all of its neighbours. I think that's a dumb thing for them to do, although you can see that they're trying to, present their own deterrence by saying that if they survive this, it shows if you attack them, there are region-wide consequences. But they have solidified the very strong anti-Iranian sentiment all through the Gulf and through the region. Those countries will now look even more closely to the US. The US can destroy Iran's missiles and nuclear capabilities and governing capabilities. It's not clear whether they can destroy the regime. And I think the confusing statements we've heard of the administration the last day or so about the objectives now are just to destroy missiles, not to change the regime. I think that's inherently dishonest. They want to change the regime, but I think they'll have to keep going for some time to have any chance of that.
Yeah, and in terms, I was reading your piece today in The Australian, you say that in terms of the history of this, they've got Trump has got the right friends and the right enemies at the moment. He's doing, this is a noble thing that they're doing. How does it fit within international law in your view, and what are the economic implications out of all of this?
Well, yes, I think Trump has got the right friends and the right enemies. The Albanese government deserves praise for backing the Americans. The international law situation is much murkier than people would have us believe. First of all, the United States and Israel have a perfect right under self-defence to retaliate against Iran. This is what I was saying about the grey zone thing. You can't have a situation in which a nation can continually attack you, but because it hasn't sort of formally declared war and moved the tanks across the borders, you can't retaliate. The second observation is that international law is in any event a load of baloney. No one pays a blind bit of attention to it. Iran never paid a blind bit of attention to it. The only mechanism for enforcing it is the United Nations Security Council, and the United States has a veto on the United Nations Security Council. So there are no international law fallouts. That's just kind of nonsense, really. So what do you say? International law prevents the United States from imposing a cost on its enemies, but it doesn't prevent Russia from invading Ukraine. Well, you're just mad to put your faith in that. The economic consequences could be quite severe. Iran has just moved to close the Strait of Hormuz. We know that 20% of the world's oil flows through there. It's likely, while it can still fire missiles, and remember, Hamas was able to still fire missiles after 2 years of war with Israel right on its doorstep. While Iran can still fire missiles, it may well target more explicitly oil facilities in the Gulf, just to say, well, if you're going to attack us, there's going to be chaos. Now, I think that would lead to an escalation by the United States and by the Gulf states. But you could easily see a very big rise in oil prices, and that would be obviously bad for Australia. It'd probably be temporary, but it's pretty combustible for the next few weeks.
You mentioned the Russia in your response there. I'm just wondering, are there any implications for Russia and China in this, given the traditional links, well, certainly the recent, if not alliances, relationship, at the very least, between Tehran, China and Russia?
Yeah, Russia and China have very big implications arising out of this. But it has to be said, both positive and negative. So the negative implication is that they have reason to be scared of Donald Trump. The world is secure when the bad guys are scared of the American president. Remember, Iran took American hostages under Jimmy Carter, released them in a nanosecond after Ronald Reagan was elected because they were scared of Ronald Reagan. So Russia and China take one lesson. Trump will take decisive military action if you push him the wrong way. Secondly, they probably lose a functional ally. Iran has been supplying drones to Russia and supplying oil to China. And so if Iran is taken out of the equation, they lose part of the authoritarian axis, Russia, China, North Korea and Iran. However, sad to say, there are some positive outcomes for Russia and China out of this too. If the price of oil goes up, that helps Russia because it still is a big energy exporter. And then there's this other very unpleasant, unavoidable truth. The West, despite years of war in Ukraine and the drumbeat of massive Chinese military modernisation, has not increased its industrial capacity to the point that it needs to be able to resupply these weapons. The United States has probably used more than a third of its Patriot interceptors. And, that means it's going to be harder for Europeans to buy those weapons for Ukraine. And God forbid, if anything should go haywire with China, the US has a depleted arsenal. Now, both Europe and the United States and, of course, Australia are at fault for not reforming their industrial base to have a much bigger production of munitions.
Finally, Greg, what are the implications for Trump domestically? You and I have spoken over the last couple of years, certainly the campaign leading into it and subsequently. Trump's America First doctrine, many within the MAGA movement have thought that this would be the end of foreign military interventions, but not so.
Yep.
Yeah, Trump is inherently very unpredictable, even to his base. This term is very much different from the first Trump term. He's not sacking aides. He's developed a taste for specific military action. It's clear that J.D. Vance and some of the MAGA base are unhappy about it, especially the odious nutcase Tucker Carlson, who thinks the world is a giant Jewish-Israeli conspiracy. But the base so far has gone with Trump. So long as Trump is successful and so long as he's not committing ground troops. But even if he is successful, I don't think that will gain him a huge amount of votes in the heartland. The MAGA base is less isolationist than it's made out to be. What it didn't like were long, costly, inconclusive wars that America finally lost. It doesn't mind, as J.D. Vance said, the US punching its enemies on the nose every so often, but everything about this Iran, the political consequences of this Iran venture will depend on how it goes. If in the end you get a more civilised Iranian government out of it, Trump will justifiably claim a massive victory. I don't think that gives him a huge amount of votes, but it certainly means he won't lose any votes. If, on the other hand, it is absolute chaos, the price of oil goes through the roof, American consumers are hit, and there are more American casualties, well, potentially it could become quite unpopular for Trump. So far, I would say his base is with him, but it's all to play for in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people are like with it, because I don't think any of the MAGA people are gonna want to go to war with Russia and China. I think a lot of people are on the fence about it still, but we'll see what happens. So let's go on to this video.
I want to bring to light a potentially shocking case of foreign interference in the United States. The New York Post is reporting that protests, those anti-war protests against strikes in Iran, are being backed by, guess who? The Chinese Communist Party. At least some of them are. This comes after protests across the U.S. Joining me now to talk about this and a lot more from the Government Accountability Institute, author Peter Schweitzer. Peter, thanks so much for joining me. Are we potentially seeing astroturfed opposition to this war by China, which of course has so much to lose if they lose Iranian oil supplies that they've been able to buy on the cheap?
Oh, there's no question that China has a lot to lose, not just with Iran, but also with what happened in Venezuela. Venezuela, not as large as Iran in terms of oil supply, but also a crucial ally to China. In 58 days, basically Donald Trump has taken out two of the most important allies of China in the developing world. And one of the means in which China is trying to respond to this is by activating their networks in the United States. So you have this American billionaire named Roy Singham, who we've talked about on this program before, who is friends with the CCP, lives in Shanghai. He's poured more than $100 million into radical groups and causes in the United States. He aligns with the CCP. And you also have groups like the Party for Socialism and Liberation, PSL, and another one in the U.S. called the Freedom Road Socialist Organization, FRSO, that are fraternal political parties with the CCP. They're friendly with them. They have pledged their allegiance to the CCP. They're the core of the violent protests that you see breaking out in these so-called anti-war protests.
And Peter, when I spoke about the war last week, we were talking about how suddenly, all of a sudden, all of these professional signs suddenly start showing up everywhere. Are these signs and everything, this whole organizational network, it seems very professional. It seems to be completely non-organic. Why does this get charity status? It seems like this would be something that the Trump administration could really look at as a way to damage this network.
No, I think you're exactly right. And we've had conversations with senior officials in the Treasury Department exactly on this issue. The bottom line is a guy like Roy Singham gets a tax deduction when he donates to these radical causes, I would argue on behalf of China. And why are we giving him a tax deduction? Why are we giving him nonprofit status when, again, I would argue he's doing the bidding of a foreign power? There were even news reports that he was activating this network even before the United States and Israel started bombing Iran. And that has given speculation to the idea that maybe the Chinese government, Chinese satellites were aware that military operations were commencing, and that's maybe Roy Singham was told about it and activated accordingly. So I think the Treasury Department is key here because they can take out the reforms necessary.
Indeed. And of course,
So I see this other thing that's going on. I'm trying to stay on top of everything. There's so many different things going on. But we have this from CNN, and this is in regards to France.
Now, Jim, of course, the question
deploying
is always,
fighter
are they
jets.
responding proportionally? Are they taking it out on the entire Lebanese population? Are they threatening to do what they did in Gaza? You've already heard Israeli leadership say they're going to turn the Dahia into Khan Yunis, referring, of course, to Gaza. I was just looking at the Israeli opposition leader, Yair Lapid, talking about basically depopulating villages in southern Lebanon and creating a yellow line sort of situation, again, referring to Gaza. So that's what people are worried about when they're looking at the potential escalation here is, where is Israel going to stop exactly in Lebanon? And what kind of ripple effects is that kind of security void, immense numbers of people displaced? I mean, really just fatigue and terror and trauma. And as you know, the Lebanese population has been going through this for not just months, really, but years, both from internal factors and external factors as well.
So let's talk about U.S. objectives then here. You've already said that the lack of clear objectives, clear definition of victory is reckless. Now the White House seems to be owning the idea that regime change is one of their goals. And you, of course, have the president say he should be involved in choosing the next leader here. it strikes me that the administration thinks this war is going well, right? And as it goes well in their view, they're getting more ambitious. Is that what we're seeing here? They kind of think, hey, I could do what I want now.
Yes, exactly right, Jim. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching the remarks from President Trump and Secretary Hegseth earlier. I mean, they are painting such a rosy scenario of the war. And of course, you would have been hard pressed to find
Well, yeah,
anyone
you don't want
who
to
doubted
tell
that the
people
US
like
would have
bad
absolute
things,
supremacy when it
because
came
then
to air
if you
power,
give them doom and gloom, they're not
when
going
it
to have any
came
hope. So you got to
to
kind of
firepower,
sprinkle
when
that
it
hope
came
on
to
there.
the ability to overwhelm Iranian air defenses. All of that was expected. But that's just phase one, right? What I don't hear from US officials, and even one of your guests earlier, that I'm not getting this deep understanding and really somber assessment of how long this could drag on because of who the enemy is, right? I mean, this is not a regime that's going to give up and suddenly stop fighting for its existence. This is a regime in an existential fight for its very survival. It's a regime that has fought wars that lasted years before the Iran-Iraq war and so on. And so I think it's really naive and misleading to the American public not to prepare them for the risks that lie ahead the longer we continue dragging out this war and making Iran feel like it is fighting that existential battle.
So I do have the video that she's talking about in regards to Hegseth, talking about, I guess, giving like an update about it. So here we go.
Pete Hegseth and CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper holding a news conference.
Good
Let's
afternoon.
watch.
I'm honored to stand right here today alongside one of America's finest, Admiral Brad Cooper, Commander of U.S. Central Command. We just had a chance to spend a couple of hours together, better part of 2 hours, going through the entirety of this Operation Epic Fury. And Admiral, I want to thank you for everything you do and your incredible leadership, your dynamic thinking, the way you're attacking this problem set on every level. In just days of Operation Epic Fury, you and your team have delivered nothing short of devastating, precise strikes, taking out the better part of Iran's Navy, making it combat ineffective, neutralizing missile sites and launchers, and establishing total dominance over the skies we fly over and seas we fly over. Our forces are executing with unmatched skill, and the mission is advancing decisively. This is the kind of no-nonsense, results-driven warfighting that America demands. And you're delivering it in spades. You are the man for this moment. Admiral Cooper, on behalf of the President, the Department of War, and every American watching, I want to thank you for the outstanding job you and CENTCOM are doing. Keep pressing the fight, and we are with you all the way. A few thoughts before I hand it over to the Admiral for an update. Iran is hoping that we cannot sustain this, which is a really bad miscalculation.
They're trying to wait us out. They think that if they keep making us use stuff, that we'll end up being depleted.
We remember and honor our fallen, those 6 that we will soon welcome at Dover, who gave everything for their country in this mission. We remember them. But we remember them by rededicating ourselves even more fervently to this mission. Our commitment to our mission objectives only increases as our advantages continue to increase. We've got no shortage of munitions. Our stockpiles of defensive and offensive weapons allow us to sustain this campaign as long as we need to. Again, our munition status only increases as our advantage increases. Our capabilities, we have only just begun to fight and fight decisively. Having a chance to hear from Admiral Cooper. If you think you've seen something, just wait. The amount of combat power that's still flowing, that's still coming, that we'll be able to project over Iran is a multiples of what it currently is right now when you add up our capabilities and those of the Israeli Defense Forces. And we have no shortage of authorities. The Admiral knows we have clear objectives with maximum authorities on the battlefield. The dumb, politically correct wars of the past were the opposite of what we're doing here. They had vague objectives with restrictive, minimalist rules of engagement. No more. Our authorities, his authorities, CENTCOM's authorities through the president and myself are maxed out. Our capabilities are overwhelming and gathering still, as are those of our Israeli partners. Our munitions are full up, and our will is ironclad, which means our timeline is ours and ours alone to control. As long as it takes to ensure the United States of America achieves these objectives. And as we flow more forces, and as we flow more capabilities, and as our munitions, as we're flying over the top, have even more devastating effects, we set the tempo, we set the timeline, led by the commander on the ground. Our ear is to the ground to listen to Admiral Cooper. What he needs and what he needs, he will get. We are built for this fight, and we are in it to win it. And we have the right commander.
My knee.
Now hand it over to Admiral Brad Cooper to give you an update right here from CENTCOM. Admiral.
Mr. Secretary, first, thank you very much and good afternoon and welcome to U.S. Central Command Headquarters, America's warfighting headquarters. It's great to be here alongside the Secretary and representing the more than 50,000 men and women in uniform currently executing Operation Epic Fury.
I don't know. Do you guys believe anything he's saying?
Leadership and support.
Like,
and the very clear vision
I like
and
his stuff. I
objectives
think
that
he's
you've
cool.
given
I
us
think he's doing a
to
phenomenal
use
job.
overwhelming force against
I'm
the
pretty sure
Iranian
people didn't think he was going to do as great as he's been doing. But I don't know whether or not I believe what he's saying. You know, like, I know they're not going to tell us everything because, you know, they can't show all their cards.
Americans. We are, if I could channel my inner Navy officer, we are at full speed ahead in executing orders given by leadership in Washington. The President and Secretary Hegseth have been crystal clear in their expectations, and we are at a high level of execution. As described by the Secretary and earlier this week by me, U.S. combat power.
Do you guys ever remember that website where it showed you like the nuclear level, like
gravity with
I forgot what it was called, but it showed you like what DEFCON level.
In just the last 72 hours,
maybe I could find it.
America's bomber force has struck nearly 200 targets.
I remember when I used to watch Alex Jones, I used to always, because he would talk about it, and I used to always watch, check on it, but I haven't done this in a while.
Targeting deeply buried ballistic missile launchers. Notably, we've also struck Iran's equivalent of Space Command, which degrades their ability to threaten Americans. Then, if I just look back over the last 24 hours of the operation compared to where we were at its start, ballistic missile attacks have decreased by 90% since day one. Drone attacks have decreased by 83% since day one. Having said this, we remain vigilant. Our strikes against the Iranian Navy have intensified. You may have heard the president say just a little while ago that we have sunk or destroyed 24 ships. That was true at the moment. We're now up over 30 ships. And in just the last few hours, we hit an Iranian drone carrier ship, roughly the size of a World War II aircraft carrier. And as we speak, it's on fire. The president gave us another
ship
task
is on
to
fire.
raise or level Iran's ballistic missile industrial.
I don't know why
base.
that song
So
popped
we're
in
not
my
just
head.
hitting what they have, we're destroying their ability to rebuild. And so as we transition to the next phase of this operation, we will systemically dismantle Iran's missile production capability for the future, and that's absolutely in progress. This is going to take some time, but our forces are well supplied, as the Secretary said, and we are absolutely ready to prosecute this mission decisively. Our combined joint forces have relentlessly destroyed Iran's air defenses over the past few days, and they've continued hunting for more systems to kill. Our air defenders are operating at the very top of their game. I couldn't be prouder, shoulder to shoulder with our partners in the region, in many cases, providing the most integrated air defense network in Middle East history. We are fighting to win. Through combined U.S. and Israeli combat power, we will continue decimating Iran's ability to project power outside its borders. And if I can just conclude by saying a strong salute to the brave men and women who are out on the pointy edge of this, really doing exceptional work. I just couldn't be prouder, and I know the American people share in that same pride. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll take a few questions. Yeah, right here.
You guys talked about what you asked for. Has there been any surprise Any surprises from Iranian capabilities that you guys have seen in the past 6 days?
We're very familiar with Iranian's capabilities, and as you might imagine, we planned for it right from the outset, and I feel good about what the plan was. Like any good organization, we adjust as necessary to meet the environment, and we've made those appropriate adjustments.
Absolutely. Right here.
One, was an American pilot shot down today in Iraq? And two, I've heard reports that there's enriched uranium stored in Isfahan. I'm also heard reports that there's not a lot of bombing there. Is that on purpose? Do we believe there's enriched uranium there? And would we ever send special forces to secure it?
As CENTCOM pointed out, that those reports of an F-15 being shot down are false. As you can imagine, Iran is doing everything it can to peddle in lies, deception, and inflation of numbers and reality, mostly to propagandize to their own people, right? They've shut down the internet. They're hoping they can convince their own population that they're having success. One thing one of their leaders said recently is that 500 Americans have been killed, they claim. These are lies. The lies will continue. CENTCOM will continue to debunk those lies. So, and as often is the case in conflict, first reports are often wrong. As it pertains to nuclear material and things like that, one of the objectives the president has always said is that Iran will not have a nuclear bomb, nuclear capabilities, but we would never disclose what we will or will not do inside operational plans. So Admiral Cooper's got a plan. We're working that plan, and targets will be struck or not struck according to what we want to achieve. Yeah, right there.
The president said earlier today in an interview that he would like to have a say in who's the next leader of Iran. Is this an expansion of your military objectives? Do you view it that way? And additionally, you spoke earlier today about how previous leaders have drawn resources from our hemisphere to the Middle East. Mm-hmm. How do you avoid that?
Well, there's no expansion. Ultimately, I think the president's having a heck of a say in who runs Iran, given the ongoing operation we have. So there's no expansion in our objectives. We know exactly what we're trying to achieve. I think today's a great example of what this War Department is capable of doing. I was just in another part of Florida today where we announced, America's counter cartel conference. 18 countries coming together from Central, South America, and the Caribbean coming together to fight cartels. That is something that is ongoing. We're focused there. We're focused in the Indo-Pacific. We can mass combat power in CENTCOM. EUCOM is able to support that as well. So we know we're laser focused on our hemisphere and our homeland. That's why we locked down the border. That's why we're working with partners to take on cartels. That's why we're sinking drug boats. That's why we're on the offense there. But the beautiful things about combatant commands is that, Brad Cooper's laser focused on Central Command, just like Frank Donovan is laser focused on Southern Command. We can do both. That's what a global power can do. Ultimately, this issue of Iran's nuclear pursuit and their unwillingness through negotiations to stop it was something President Trump has said for a long time needs to be dealt with. And after 47 years, he's doing something that no other president was willing to do. And we're doing it overwhelmingly, and we're doing it decisively, while also in other parts of the globe having the desired effects. I mean, take, for example, what we displayed yesterday, the Iranian ship in the Indian Ocean, sunk by Indo-PACOM, another combatant command, who coordinated with us in order to make that happen. So America's reach is global. Our focus here, though, these missions are narrow, they're scoped, and Admiral Cooper is well on his way to ensuring that we reach those objectives. Right here, yes, sir.
Harold, we'll keep going to your troops building. The Ukrainians are talking about providing low-cost interceptors, given their experience. Is that something that the Pentagon is looking for? And Admiral Cooper, can you walk us through a little bit about how effective the Lucas drones have been, what kind of targets they've hit, and how much that's helped, given that they're low-cost alternatives to the more expensive
Sure. I'm not familiar with the particular offer, but the interceptors in general, we've had a number of new capabilities being fielded. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about it from an operational perspective of what those are. But I think you have seen over a period of time us kind of get on the other side of this cost curve on drones in general. If I just walk back a couple of years, you remember what you used to always hear? We're shooting down a $50,000 drone with a $2 million missile. These days, we're spending a lot of time shooting down $100,000 drones with $10,000 weapons from ours. So that's one aspect of it. Lucas, indispensable. As many of you know, and if you don't know, this was an original Iranian drone design. We captured it, pulled the guts out, sent it back to America, put a little Made America on it, brought it back here, and we're shooting at the Iranians.
So funny.
Good targets.
Good targets. Absolutely. Right there.
Thank you so much, Secretary. President Trump, in his first speech after the launch of the Operation Epic Fury, he addressed Iranian people and he said that there is going to be a time for you to come out, but it's not now. Stay home. It's not safe. I want to know if there is a timeline for that you're going to urge Iranian people to come out, how that is going to play out, and how are you going to protect the protesters? You know that they're going to be shot probably, as we witnessed in January. That's what happened. How are you going to protect and support the protesters? And Admiral, I have one question for you. How are you going to minimize the civilian harms? We have a lot of evidence that the Basij units, IRGC commanders, they are now gathering in schools, in hospitals, in purely residential areas because their headquarters are bombarded, they are ruined, of course. So how are you going to protect the civilians while you're attacking the IRGC people hard? Thank you.
I would just say on the protests, obviously the Iranian people showed a lot of courage in those protests, and we saw the Iranian regime was revealed for what it is in the way they reacted to that. The world saw that. No one's done more than President Trump to reopen the opportunity for those who want a free Iran to do so. Ultimately, it's common sense, as he said up front. Don't go out and protest while bombs are dropping inside Tehran and elsewhere. So there will come a moment where he determines, or they determine, that it's the time to seize that advantage. But there's a lot of things we're doing and the Israeli military is doing, targeting those individuals who are targeting those who protest. The more you do that and you erode their will and you erode their capabilities, the more you create an opportunity for people to boldly stand up.
Yeah, I would just reinforce the point. We're targeting the people, or we're targeting the headquarters and the people who are targeting the protesters, first and foremost. I'd also just double down on the president's comments that he previously made to the people. Stay in your homes, keep things calm, stay out of the way. There's a lot of U.S. and Israeli capacity coming over. We're hitting a lot of targets. The best thing for them to do for right now is just to lay low.
Right here.
One common outcome of American military action in the past has been taking in thousands of refugees into the American homeland, and I'm wondering if there's any safeguards put in place to make sure that the American people aren't having to have another wave of refugees from the Middle East or anywhere else.
So I have this other thing that I want to show you guys from the Times Now. This is actually an article that I found. I just want to share this with you guys. I thought this was a really good article because I was looking for the DEFCON, like I was telling you guys. This comes from the Times Now. So DEFCON 3 alert: is the world just 2 steps away from all-out nuclear war explained? As of early March of 2026, global tensions are notably high, with the U.S. military DEFCON status fluctuating between levels 3 and 4, indicating significant concerns but not full wartime alert. So this article is basically telling you about that. Now, I found the site that I was telling you guys about. It was just like a regular DEFCON level site, and it tells you to, it lets you monitor where we're at. I don't know how legit most of these are, but I remember I used to look at it, like I told you guys, when I would watch Alex Jones. So as of right now, it says in early March of 2026, global tension feel unusually high. Independent defense watchers estimate that the U.S. military alert status, known as DEFCON, is fluctuating between 3 and 4 as per onset based sites like DEFCON warning system or DEFCON level. Oh, so they're actually giving us a website. Let's see what theirs looks like. That's what theirs looks like. They're saying we're like at 4. But I personally don't really think that we'd probably know if the shizzy hit the fizzy. Oh, so this is the one I found. Cool. I had the right one. I don't think we would know because we're the schlubs, I think the fact that we have elites like celebrities and like really rich people literally making buckers at the quick and at the ready, buying islands, securing places, buying up ammo, buying up gold. You know, I think they know something's up, but they're not like 100% sure. So they're trying to prepare just in case. Like I said, I don't think we would know about it until it's like right at our doorstep, you know? So that's what this is basically talking about, whether or not they think we might be coming into a World War III. This comes as major escalation on February 28 with the United States and Israel launching this large-scale attack, which is what we've been following. So the different DEFCON levels. So basically it's saying level 1, Cox pistol, nuclear war imminent, maximum readiness, nuclear war is imminent or has started. DEFCON 2 is nuclear step to nuclear war, armed forces ready to deploy in under 6 to 4 hours. You have DEFCON 3, which is increase in readiness, armed forces ready to deploy in 15 minutes, secure communications, and high alert levels. Wow, that kind of seems like we might be at 3. I don't know. DEFCON 4, high insecurity alert, increased intelligence watch and security measures, quarterly readiness drills across bases. And obviously DEFCON 5 is normal peacetime readiness, lowest defense readiness, routine training, security, and intelligence gathering. I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat, which one do you think we're at? Do you think we're at like 1, 2, 3, 4? I know we're definitely not at 5. I'm thinking 3, but I could be wrong. Like, that's just my thought process of the DEFCON levels. Now, I think it's interesting because, and if you want, I could put this in the chat for you guys along with the other stuff. This way you guys can have it and see what you guys think. I'm like a big believer in sharing info, so this might help you guys. And who knows, you know? So let me go ahead and finish with this article. But I want to make sure you guys have that. So yeah, so that's basically what this article is all about. It's talking about the current conflict and how it's escalating. And as you guys can hear in the background, in case you guys can hear it, my ducks are in the tub, as always. So I don't know. I think personally, just based on what it's saying, I think we're at 3. Does that mean we're going to be going into a full-blown war? I have no idea. I know Russia is talking about how they might enter the fight, as well as China and as well as North Korea. I know North Korea was kind of like practicing with their boats. So it's a little concerning, guys, you know, to be honest. But you guys let me know your thoughts. So we're going to go ahead and jump back to CNN and see what they're saying, why I update some stuff for you guys.
Continue to say that they are preparing themselves, that they will go in.
If it lets me pay. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work for me.
Went in and purchased 50 Toyota Land Cruisers. Obviously, this is coming at a time where everybody is watching very closely to see if potentially these Iranian Kurdish forces could launch some kind of a ground offensive with U.S. and Israeli support, as they have indicated they are wanting to do. But it's very important to underscore, Anderson, that they are facing some really stiff resistance from within Iraqi Kurdistan. The leadership here does not want to get involved with this, does not want to risk being seen as taking a position, as not being neutral. They have been warned by Iran that if they allow their territory to be used as a launch pad for any kind of a ground offensive, that they will pay severe repercussions. And we have seen those severe repercussions, and we have seen how the Iranian regime is already cracking down on the mere possibility of a ground offensive. There have been a steady stream of strikes, missiles and drones on those Iranian Kurdish militia positions since this reporting first came to light. So a lot of tension here amid, growing speculation that some kind of a ground offensive could possibly take place. Anderson.
Jeremy, Iran claims to have launched a hybrid drone and missile attack against Israel tonight. What have you heard about that?
Yeah, that's right, Anderson. That is the claim from Iran, although it's not clear what the significance of that is exactly, in particular because we understand that about 99% of drones that are fired towards Israeli territory from Iran are intercepted, and it's not the same kind of aerial defense systems that are intercepting those drones versus those ballistic missiles. So it's not clear that it makes it that much more effective for the Iranians. But we do know that tonight, one of those ballistic missiles did make it through Israel's air defense system. It struck an area near Israel's Ben Gurion International Airport, setting a warehouse on fire, damaging several residential buildings in the area. We've seen some images of that ballistic missile as it was coming in. There's been some speculation, the possibility that this could be carrying some kind of cluster munition, an accusation that the Israeli military has leveled against the Iranians several times in the last week so far.
Sorry, guys.
We have confirmation that that was indeed the type of munition that was used here. But nonetheless, we know that, it was the first time in a few days that we've seen one of these missiles actually get through the air defense systems and strike near a populated area, notably happening on the first day that Israel began to reopen its airspace, allowing flights repatriating Israelis to come back here. But it is clear that Iran's ballistic missile capabilities have been severely impacted, seeing fewer of those ballistic missiles being fired towards Israel, as the Israeli military says that it has now destroyed some 60% of Iran's ballistic missile launchers inside Iranian territory.
Clarissa, in terms of any kind of cross-border operation, any kind of offensive by a Kurdish force, just what are the capabilities of whatever group might be involved with this, if any is being funded to do this? I mean, how many personnel do they have? What sort of weaponry do they have?
Well, I think you've hit on a really key question here, Anderson, which is perhaps why so many people feel anxious about the possibility that this could actually take effect. You have many different Iranian Kurdish groups here, 6 of them who are part of this coalition. They have potentially thousands of fighters, but most of them are carrying light arms. We don't know of them having any heavy weaponry. One of the groups actually today made a claim that effectively they have lots of tunnels, which we have known about for some time now. But again, it's just so difficult to know how on earth they would be able to pull something like this off without serious support from the U.S. and Israel. And even President Trump's comments today, Anderson, they didn't really definitively give a sense as to whether the U.S. would be willing to really actively support some kind of an effort like this with major air cover, with serious arming. Another group has said that they already have fighters inside Iran who are ready to rise up at any given moment, but very difficult to sift through what is real, what is partially propaganda, and that really feeding to this unease. And I just want to close with one thing that the Iraqi First Lady said, which was, I think, quite powerful. She said, "Leave the Kurds alone. We are not guns for hire."
They're like, we're not in it, man.
Israel has also stepped up.
They're like, don't even bring us that stuff.
Obviously, looking at Hezbollah targets. Talk about the significance of that.
Yeah, we're seeing a real escalation in this new front that we are watching of this regional war after Hezbollah a few days ago fired rockets towards northern Israel, entering the fray, giving Israel a pretext for an operation that they have been planning for months now, really. And we've seen both Israeli troops moving into parts of southern Lebanon, but also today, what was really significant was seeing this mass evacuation order that Israel issued for almost the entirety of the Dahia, this southern suburb of Beirut that is also a Hezbollah stronghold. Hundreds of thousands of people tonight have been forced to flee their homes as a result of that evacuation order. And within hours of that order being issued, the Israeli military began bombarding that area of the Lebanese capital. And we don't yet know the scale of the destruction from that bombardment, but this evacuation order is something that we haven't seen even in previous rounds of this conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. We didn't even see it last time when the Israeli military over a year ago first launched its ground incursion into Lebanon. And so it really just signals the kind of decisiveness
what I have in the
with which
bottom
Israel
right
is
corner,
trying
in case
to,
you guys don't know, is
blow Hezbollah away.
that's
The Israeli
have another
military chief
taco.
of
He
staff
likes to
said
go out
is the
there
goal a few
to the
days
Portland
ago.
ICE
And
protest.
obviously the consequences
So as
of
you can
that
see,
for
that
the
we're
Lebanese
still doing
people
that
are
out there.
enormous, as we are
Nobody
witnessing
else is on the
yet
ground. I'm
another,
trying to find other
humanitarian
people that are on the
crisis
ground because,
beginning to
we love
unfold
protests
with so
here.
many people now out of their homes,
But I
many of them
haven't
living
came
on the
across
streets
anything.
tonight. Anderson.
Jeremy Diamond, thanks very much. Clarissa Ward as well. I want to bring in CNN Global Affairs analyst Brett McGurk, who served in senior national security posts under the last 4 presidents, including during President Trump's first term.
Yep, we're at 376. We're trying to hit 500. That's our goal.
Iran is making a, quote, bad miscalculation, in his words, if it thinks the U.S. will slow strikes 6 days
like,
in.
subscribe.
Where do you think this is heading, and do you still think
and hit that
Iran is
notification
hoping
bell
to kind of basically buy time?
Exactly. I think stepping back, heading into a 1-week mark, good time to kind of make an assessment. And I think you hit the mark there. And I'm reminded of something, Anderson, the Taliban used to say about the Americans. You might remember this, that the Americans have the watches, but we own the time. America might have military proficiency, but at the end of the day, they'll be there and we won't. And I've spent a lot of time, Anderson, through hostage negotiations with the most ideological part of Iran's system, the intelligence services and the Revolutionary Guards. That's exactly how they think. And if you kind of step back of what they are trying to do, they are trying to shorten the clock for the United States. That's closing the Straits of Hormuz. That's trying to expand the conflict. Today, drones into Azerbaijan. So they are trying to create this sense of mayhem and chaos. I'm sure they are watching oil markets. They're watching stock markets. That's kind of how they think. So that is clearly what they're trying to do. And then on the U.S. side, I thought the press briefing at the Pentagon today was very instructive because they actually, you could see Brad Cooper, the CENTCOM commander, and Hegseth really answering this, saying, we
were watching that.
On the clock. We will determine how this goes.
We'll see how that goes, guys.
This is classic, going back to doctrine. You and I have talked about Clausewitz. War is a contest of wills. That's kind of where we are. And I think
that's actually what
the US military campaign
Iran said. They're trying to wait us out.
And really reducing
I don't know how good that would be.
Power outward. I mean, drone attacks are way down. Missile attacks are way down. It was reported today by 90% missile attacks, by 86% drone attacks. But they can still get these things off. And that still doesn't answer the other question, Anderson. If you achieve that military mission, and in that briefing today, again, it was the most disciplined briefing I have seen since this started. They said, the Pentagon briefer said that the missions are narrow and scoped. If you achieve that main mission of reducing Iran's ability to project power outside its borders.
You know what annoys me is when people bring their pets to these protests because they don't know what's going on. And I can imagine how scared they get with the flashbangs or like the pepper spray, how it affects them. I don't like when they do that.
Iran is trying to basically cause mayhem so that President Trump ultimately pulls the plug before the military campaign can go to its conclusion.
Well, to that point of what happens once the target list has been gone through, the U.S. has air superiority, but doesn't want to put boots on the ground. What happens then? Secretary Hegseth, the CENTCOM commander, reiterated that the Iranian people today should lay low.
We're gonna see what this guy is saying over here, just to kind of mellow it out, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
With Trump holding a lighter against the Constitution and a shovel in the other hand.
Oh, that's cool.
Hi.
You know, with the pile that's attempting to cover up the Epstein files.
That's so cool.
But he's the one that put them out there. Like, what? I swear, these people are crazy.
I had a bit of a run-in with a couple of MAGA last night.
Yeah, he likes to bash MAGA.
They were just...
So, yeah, we'll go back to CNN.
At his borders.
Or actually, we'll go to this guy. Let me see. Did I bring it up? Nah, we'll just stick with CNN.
You can say, we're going to stay over the top of Iran, we're going to stay engaged, and call on the people to rise up. These are huge questions, Anderson, and it's pretty clear.
It's
I don't think
crazy, guys.
Fourth, fifth order steps.
I don't think I had World War III on my Pico card.
They're coming.
I don't know about you guys, but I definitely didn't have it.
In the coming weeks.
Counterstrikes. We have no word yet on damage or injuries. And Iran is mourning dozens of young students killed in the bombing of a school in the first hours of the war. Days later, it's still unclear why the school was hit or which country fired at it.
All I can say is that we're investigating that. We, of course, never target civilian targets, but we're taking a look and investigating that.
The school is reportedly located about 200 feet from an Iranian military base. And our senior international correspondent, Fred Pleitgen, and his team have actually crossed the border into Iran. CNN is the first U.S. network allowed into the country since the start of U.S. strikes. We have to point out that CNN operates in Iran only with government permission. And here is Fred's report.
We just crossed the border and are now inside of Iran. The Iranian government has granted us a visa to come here and to report from the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're now trying to make our way to the capital, Tehran, as fast as possible. But of course, the distances in this huge country are immense, and we know it's going to take many, many hours for us to get there. We also don't know what the situation on the road to Tehran is going to look like, how many checkpoints there's going to be. And of course, we know at the same time there are massive combat operations also going on. The United States and Israel are continuing their huge aerial campaign against targets inside of Iran. At the same time, the Iranians continue to retaliate, not just with their ballistic missiles, but with their drones, mostly hitting Israel, but then also American military installations, especially in the Gulf region, but in general, in the Middle East. In total, the Iranians are saying that they can continue this campaign for a very long time. They say that their missile arsenal is still immense, and they haven't even used some of their most modern missiles. But we also, of course, know that the place that we aim to go to, Tehran, has been under almost sustained attacks with massive airstrikes going on there.
I don't know about you guys, but whenever I hear like the chopper or like see them and they're saying that they're, you know, in a location where there's war,
in the meantime, in Saudi Arabia,
I think of like
overnight. And Italy,
The Simpsons or Family Guy, where they're pretending and they're blowing off fireworks.
CNN's Nick Robertson is in Riyadh. Can you talk about the significance of the strikes that the Saudis are dealing with? What would it mean if they're drawn further into this war?
Yeah, it could potentially mean an escalation in the war in this region here if they get drawn in. They're trying not to get drawn in, but we learned at the Pentagon press briefing yesterday with the Secretary of Defense and the Joint Chiefs of Staff that, in fact, Iran had launched very big and very serious missiles, ballistic missiles, at Saudi Arabia's energy facilities. They were intercepted. But if one of those was to impact, that really could change the calculus here in Riyadh. What has happened in the hours this morning, 3 cruise missiles were fired, it appears, at Prince Sultan Air Base, which is just outside of Riyadh. The Ministry of Defense here indicating that they were shot down in a town near that base. No one's saying that they were fired at that base, but it appears to be the case. And then a couple of hours later, 3 drones shot down in the same area. That is an air
Thank
base,
you, electrifying one.
that has
He's saying if you don't know that they built a school next to the bases on purpose to either not get hit with anything or to use as propaganda. That's actually what a lot of the Iranians were saying, that they did that on purpose, that they're using them as cover shield.
Point that we've been hearing about the expansion of this conflict, whether it's the sinking of that Iranian Navy ship yesterday in the Indian Ocean.
Let's see what Ground Zero has to say, because this is more so regarding the protests. It decides to play nice.
It's early. They see me around here, but they're not giving me any attention, which is fine. But I will. I'll be heard.
Like, I wonder if these guys are protesting the war.
I'll be heard. Miss Mary? What are you doing in my chat, Miss Mary? Are you doxing me, Miss Mary?
One day, when the glory comes,
What do you guys think about the OGs and the newbies?
Yeah, the signal over here always sucks, man. In Portland,
I think it is different, but it's like I told them before, it's like carrying the torch, man. If they don't come out here, we're gonna be out here. I don't care if there's 2 people out here, because from what they told me, there wasn't any of the Antifa out here. They actually came out here, and then the Antifa came. So that just gives us even more reason to be out here. We need more numbers. We need flag waves here in Portland. We need more numbers of patriots, guys. That's the truth. That's the problem. We don't have enough of us out here. They don't feel like they have the need to come here. This is a blue city. I would rather this place be red, that's for sure. But hey,
I always tell people that if what we need to do as Republicans or people on the right is if they go out there, like let's say Antifa or these protesters go out there and there's 5, then we go 10. If we see 10, we go 20. You know, if we see 20, we go 50. Like we got to show up, and that's the problem. A lot of people don't. You know, that sucks.
I'm going there. It's for Iranian war. It's Iranian war. Pretend's recording me now. Yeah. Brown Zero is here.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy's gonna be there, so.
Brown Zero is here, you guys. Brown Zero. Speedo. Brown Speedo. PDX. Guys, I'm still waiting on. Look at these big, beautiful brown eyes. SSR eyes. I'm waiting on Red Bull, man. I'm still waiting on Red Bull. Give me a call, Red Bull. Y'all ever had this kind? It's the Fiji apple ginger. Some kind of temporary flavor. Tastes like hairspray. Can't touch the ground. I mean, it's not a bad song, but I don't.
Now, you guys definitely should go to Ground Zero PDX and like and subscribe to his channel. We need more patriots like him to come out, you know?
Yeah, Brown Zero Speedo PDX. What's up, Thomas? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Harley, what's up?
That was me.
Harley's Chaos Report. Love it, love it.
That was me.
Yep. Good point. I love that. This is what Harley said. I am always saying on my channel, if they come with 5, we come with 10. And if they come with 10, we come with 30. We gotta show up. That's right. You get it. You get it.
Yep. Yep, yep.
And I know all my subscribers get it. I know they do. That's why they're here. Truest shit I ever heard. Let's turn it around. I'll show you guys what it looks like in front of the ice building.
I bet you it's like kind of dead. Yeah, there's not that many people out. Usually, they start coming out, I think, on Thursdays, and then Fridays they come out full force. Saturday.
Smith, what's up, buddy?
But sometimes they throw a curveball.
Man, so, we got some gift memberships out in the past few days. Well, how amazing is that, guys, to get a free membership? That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Some of my good people got free memberships. Yeah, and the whole thing is like, even if they're not here, that's the thing we need to look at it too. And remember, the OGs came out here before they were out here doing all this.
Yeah.
They came out here, and they were all pro Trump, pro ICE, all that stuff, and they made a big presence. And then all of a sudden, Antifa comes out of the woodwork and plows through us, and then this is what's left of everything. And then, what the hell is going on with Richard? Tweaking out. But
you guys, I definitely want to go on the ground.
This is what's left, but the whole thing is I don't
I'd
care.
probably get in a lot of trouble.
We need to hold rallies. We need to do flag waves in Portland.
Yep.
It's like the numbers didn't go away. They're just not showing up. So the key
100%.
is to show up. We need to show up strong, all of us. All the people that patriots that come boots on the ground, patriots that are in Oregon City or Milwaukee or Estacada, wherever in Oregon need to plan rallies, flag waves, supportive stuff.
Destructive narrative to fascism. What is something that can help?
Here we go. You guys want to hear this bullshit?
While at the same time lifting up the people I stand next to, my brothers and sisters, my comrades.
He's like, hold on, let me just
say
cancel.
Hi to Tommy in the chat. TKO Tommy! Knock him out. Knock him out. Knock him out. Tommy will.
The people that are above the rest.
Get him. Get him, Tommy. Get him. Transosaurus Rex. Yep, Transosaurus Rex.
Is that what that is?
It could be people of color. It could be indigenous groups.
Oh, yeah? Nathan Hot Dogs is cooler than me? All right, Ryder. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bring it. You want to fight about it?
The ones that they want us to think are less than.
Y'all already know Nathan Hot Dogs.
And so.
Let's do it.
So weird.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's been there the whole time that we've been
all right, everybody. Say hi to Nathan Hot Dogs.
So weird.
Just when you're gay, you have your hand up and
what happened? What happened? Why do you have to end it?
Because I love who I am.
I don't know what's
That's
going on. Did you try to go out and then come back?
Yes.
It's on YouTube, right?
Okay, there it goes.
How is it now?
Okay. Oh God, I just fixed it, and then it just like went like circle of death. Well, while I was trying to load, my guy was like telling me like if we did show up and go on the ground,
when I came out here in May,
that I was telling him you should go dressed in like one of those like hot dog Oscar Mayer hot dog suits. And then he should do what was in that one movie where the guy was like, ask me about my wiener. That was my dog's lie. You can hear him, guys. Come on, let's go.
Off right now. Now flip it and see what happens.
They persist.
Yeah, not that.
They do not.
But yeah, I thought it was funny. Because we're like, he's like a big troll, so it's funny.
Barry, thank you so much, buddy.
Oh, Pretend Media's there now. Let me go pull that up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Barry. You're always the real one. A real patriot, buddy.
Good.
What is going on over here? I'm kind of curious to hear what kind of stupid bullshit he's saying. Not like in a it's gonna help me kind of way, but in a way of like what kind of bullshit are you spewing?
Oh, so they're all coming out right now. That's right.
With pride.
So let me get this.
With pride. And so every time one of them stands out here,
jeez, these people.
Dancing. Something ancient and beautiful. Whether it's someone carrying a flag representing the community that they're part of, it disrupts this fascist narrative.
Loony.
The story is that they're trying to tell.
Loony bin.
And it's beautiful. And keep your head.
Man. See, rabbit. So that's not Tina Kotex, which is hilarious.
That looks good too.
I know he said Pretend Media.
I am proud. I am proud to stand with the people.
We got an actual clown here, guys.
And we will
I ain't clowning around, guys. It's serious. I'm not clowning around.
Kristi Noem is gone, and that's just the start. She hasn't even begun to pay her dues.
Oh my gosh, shut up.
This was great. But the people that won't break are on this side of that blue line. They're on this side, the right side of history.
You know who's is that people that are on the wrong side.
To exhibit pride in public, be open about who you are.
I know. Did you guys see that? Kevin saw it. He keeps looking.
I would like to say and pin it over to another source of pride. We're raised to have pride in our democracy, our representative republic. And the very foundation of a democracy is the ability to have a vote, a say in what happens and what goes on. And as much as the Democratic leadership
Looks like their thing's not live yet.
Frustrated and embarrassed.
Definitely looks like everybody's coming out now.
For the moment, getting the Republicans out of Congress is our best hope for turning things around.
God, they're so stupid.
Oh Colleen, you're so great, Colleen. I appreciate you, and I know how you're in all the Patriots chats and everything, like most of us. I really appreciate you, what you do for us. Be careful, stay safe, please. If Pam Tifa is there, please don't talk to her. Don't up your energy to that demon. Love you. I love you too. I love you too, Colleen. You know that. And I just want to say Pam Tifa is not here, but she will be coming back. Pam Tifa's coming back, I believe, March 17th.
That person is annoying too.
Yeah, I think he just likes to hear his own voice. What do you guys think? I thank you. Appreciate you guys.
That's the pride in our government, our democracy that we need to engage in again.
But democracy.
What's up, Scuba Steve? Everybody say hi to Scuba Steve.
Scuba Steve. That's funny.
Scuba Steve, he's another boots on the ground. Follow him too. Me and Scuba Steve are the Mandalorians. Mandalorians, me and Scuba Steve.
Worrying about offending someone. We're all offended at the
Yeah, he's
weakness
embarrassing.
you exhibited.
Man, you guys are moving quick through the chat. Hold on, I can't keep up.
Stand up for something.
You're so
I am standing up.
Stand up.
I am standing up.
The entire world. That's not your job. Your job is to represent us. And the majority of people in this country,
which are the majority of people that voted, that voted for this.
Got you. Hold on.
Oh, that's because you can't see my color. I have to redo it.
Over there.
I have pink and blue in my hair.
I'll just zoom in instead of standing over there. Whoa, Colleen, thank you for the $50. I appreciate you, Colleen.
I meet people who have families that are.
We got Pretend Media to my left.
Incomplete documentation.
I don't know what's he smoking. What are you smoking on, Pretend?
Not complete through the process because
just an e-cigarette, guys. It's not crack.
Immigration customs keeps changing the rules, and so now they're afraid to finish whatever they started.
I gotta adjust my camera real quick. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. Chris out of Dade County in the house.
And I share with them this little bit.
M-I-A.
Outside the realm of social media for the most part. Really see
M-I-A.
But there are people out there every day that are following eyes, documenting legal observers, watching, recording, documenting, don't disappear.
Man, I was having fun on my sound check earlier. I can't wait to get I'm gonna get a laptop soon. I'm just gonna have to do it. Those sound effects are fun, and the voice changer. I'm gonna have fun with that.
Yep.
I'm gonna have fun with that one.
I can count on one hand the number of 30-year-olds that were working one day and dead 2 weeks later, and 40-year-olds for the same. If you're healthy enough to have a physically demanding job, you don't suddenly die 3 weeks later in custody. You're murdered.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Chasing the bad people, chasing evil, at risk of their own lives.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, Jenny, the voice changer's fun. Did you guys like that? Did you like the voice changer? I can have fun with that.
More than anyone what the danger is. And they persist. And they continue.
What are you talking about, Latina? Spicy Latina?
Not for social recognition, not for a parade,
I can see you.
not for a banner in the heavens.
Stop hiding from me then.
No one will ever slap them on the back and tell them they're a hero. They do it because it's the right thing to do.
It looks good. It looks it was down, but it's up now. What's up, Gail? What do you got for me? Ground Zero PDX Shane. It would be awesome if you could use your mixer there at ICE. Oh, yeah. Actually, I could. I actually could. That's a good point. I could bring it down there. I just hook it to a speaker real easily, and then use a microphone out of my and change my voice. Oh, that would be fun. Good point. Good point. Who was that?
And they do
Who was that? I just saw it. Oh, Gail. Thank you, Gail. That's actually a really good point. I'm going to do that. I can use that little microphone.
And so,
I have to have farts.
Know what you're doing.
I'm not sure. I'll have to add farts to it. Look, there's the fuck that chicken. Fuck that chicken.
Completely.
Fuck that chicken for Popeyes. Thank you, powers that be. I appreciate you. You're right. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here. That's right. Fuck that chicken for Popeyes.
With certain inalienable rights. Life.
Liar.
Liberty. And happiness.
Big old liar. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Smash. Hulk smash that like button, guys. Portland, Oregon, ICE facility.
And anyone that's assisted in that.
Look what we got. Oh, I got something special to show you guys. Something special. Something special to show you guys.
If you're part of the machinations of tyranny, your time is up.
Okay, guy.
It is time to leave. You will not wipe away the stains that you have created, but you can keep it from getting worse. And maybe one day, in 20 years, maybe...
Oh, hell yeah! Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it.
Like, I'm going to keep an eye on what's going on with Iran in case something does pop off. But I don't think anything will happen. Hopefully not.
Step out from those gates and across the blue line and join...
Yep. I'm doing it for King Fixer. What? I'm doing this for King Fixer just to get this shot.
Oh, yeah. I know you can hear.
You know how dangerous the grade is.
There's a car, by the way.
I know, I'm moving.
Tick tock.
Honk Trump! Honk for Trump! Mando Brothers. That's right. Me and Scuba Steve, baby. I love that guy. I met Scuba Steve for like 5 minutes and I was like, yep.
Did we just become best friends? That's what happened on that one.
I know there's Richard. I know there's a Richard sighting. Oh, hell yeah. What's up? What's up? Coming on that little one wheelie dealy. That's the JD Vance meme guy and the juggler. He is on the left, but he doesn't. He's not an he's a decent
He's not an agitator.
I guess I don't know him that well, but he's funny. I'll give him that. The only funny guy out here. This is crappy music. What?
I like what I see. A boss like you need a boss like I'm from the streets, so you low key. I'm trying to rock that.
What happened?
Wow. Right, forensic nurses. Alright, had to fix the tripod so I can stand it up.
Yeah, I bet
What's up,
setting for
Nathan?
hours holding would probably be like sucky.
Nathan, what's up, brother? Yep, hope you're doing well. Thanks for what you do. Thank you, I appreciate that, man. We're at like, what, 20, 22, 24 people here now? What is going on here? Oh.
It's starting to fill up, guys.
Where you going, Richard? Gonna go burn another flag, Richard?
Fuck off, bitch boy. Fuck off,
Jeez.
bitch boy. Fuck off, bitch boy. Fuck off, bitch boy. You gave that camera shoved up your ass.
No, I bet. I'd like to see that. Pathetic. Oh, white privilege. Good point. I just wanted to show you guys this beautiful sight. What a sight to see.
Every time I refresh it, it goes, no more sound.
Hopefully we won't need to do a lot of zooming tonight because
Seems pretty chill.
that's weird. Is the image flipped for you also?
I know where one of them's at. Right here.
What the heck?
I'm not sure if someone's under there or if it's just a pile of stuff, but either way. It looks like someone's under there. Look at this mess, guys. Look at it. How is this a memorial?
Jeez.
It looks like a goddamn trashy.
It looks like a compost. We're composting.
Look at that. That's a memorial? Yep. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see all the trash. They put these.
They're not worried like that things would catch fire, man. That's what I'd be worried about.
That's creepy. They put the stuffed animals in bags. So.
Oh. For a minute there, I thought that was like a pig's head.
Yeah, it looks like there's somebody in
Well,
there.
looks like his stream ended, huh?
I don't know, guys.
Let's see what's going on here. His stream probably got like kicked off, or they're having signal issues. Usually what happens.
The homeless lady.
Oh Lord.
What's up, Trina? Thank you, Trina. Sorry. What's up with the tree? Let me show you guys. I'll show you what's on the tree. Yeah, it does look like a bubonic plague breeding factory. It sure does. Trina, thank you. Yep. Says PPB cup chair.
There's another volcano going off. Mayan volcano. That's crazy.
They put like something over it, like a felt wiring, like a plastic. I'm not sure, but thank you, Ed Eagle. Thank you, Ed Eagle. Smash that like button if you love ice. We love ice.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they're just starting with the tree. It's not quite there yet, but they're working on it. And of course, there's just random garbage. Voodoo Donuts box. I don't know if there's anything in there. One wheel. Someone's one wheel. Yeah, see what's going on here. We got food. Of course, they get her food while she's out here, I'm sure. Lots of McDonald's. Look at all these cups. McDonald's cups. Yeah, that was a ring camera. Drinks. Oh, I keep running into my tripod. Thank you, Trina. I really appreciate that. You're the bomb diggity tonight. Kind of cold out here. Good thing I brought some gloves. They're not the heated gloves because I didn't think it was going to get that cold, but it's a little chilly. I think I see some people over at Patriot Corner, but I think I'm going to ride this out. I'll see them
Corner
eventually here in a minute. Yeah, they can't pick up after themselves. Garbage people with garbage IQ. What's up, Laura?
Oh my God, is that chicken?
I got some at my apartment if you want to go get them. Homemade sign maker. Yeah. I see. Not really. I don't think it's anybody new. But I do think that there's people that I don't recognize because I don't pay attention to them. But there are some people I definitely, obviously, have seen a bunch of. I don't recognize this guy right here. Did I hear that Travis is in the chat? Is that true? What's up, Tanya? Yeah, just to give you an idea, not Tina and Nico and Chris come out here often, once or twice a week, and clean up out here, and then they trash it right after it. So it's a constant battle with that too. We do have a few signs, but we need some though.
That's funny.
I know.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably people that get that
yeah, put that chicken in a cage.
Never got invited to the clubs. That's so funny. I wonder if that chicken is hey hey.
What do you got to say about, you know, the whole stolen valor thing, dude? You're a dentist, a dental assistant, bro. How do you get a rescue swimmer from a dental assistant? How does that happen? Oh, it's a parody. I would imagine because He doesn't just go by Travis
Yeah,
Jury.
that guy totally looks like a
name,
lefty.
like rescue swimmer. Whoa,
But
the
he
chat's
goes
going
out
crazy.
and,
I know it's not
you
Travis.
know,
He wouldn't go by that name.
he goes
He would
out
have
and
already flipped
records
out on us.
everybody, so more content.
I appreciate it, Colleen. Much love from me and the other Patriots for sure. It's very much appreciated. It's Pam Tifa.
Oh, God.
All right. Iceman's in the chat, guys. He's at home watching the stream. Everybody say hi to Iceman. I'll never forget that day he swooped down and saved me.
Aw.
Iceman's a real G. Real OG. Triple OG.
And you need those nowadays.
Thank you, Sean. I really appreciate that, Sean. What's up, the Dookie? Woo, look at all that love for Iceman. I love it. Iceman's the man.
Of course.
Oh man, somebody asked who Travis is. Oh Lord. I don't think there's enough time tonight to explain that kind of person. Yeah, Richard's hungry. Poor Richard. Yeah, talk shit all you want, Richard. Monkey, I talked to you earlier. You're not invisible. Maybe if you came down here, Monkey. Quit monkeying around, Monkey. Oh, Barry's getting ice built all around him. It's gonna be like an ice wall. Yep. Now I gotta figure out where to put this Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Trash can. Let's see. Actually, I have a solution. Stomp the can and put it in my pocket. Yes, sir. Gary with the Loki sticker. That Loki emoji.
Loki. I like Loki.
The restroom swimmer. Just smash it, put it in my pocket.
Wow, he smashed it like...
Thank you, John.
It's like so tiny now.
I appreciate that super chat, buddy. It's much appreciated. I love coming out here and do this for you guys. When we're not just gonna... It's not just ice facility. Anybody that knows me, they tune in, and we're in other places too. So check out my videos if you haven't. One of the crazy ones more recently was in Salem, the school walkout. If you haven't watched that video, please do.
I saw that. It was crazy.
Flying through the sky. Number one, baby. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Is it Shauna? You know, because names just, you know how hard it is sometimes with the names. I think Tommy might be out here, yeah.
Oh, snap. It's about to get rowdy.
Just start going through all the donations. I know, right? I think he got, pretty sure he got the hint when I was calling out the super chats. He wants to ignore them. You know, he's seething inside. Look.
Oh, they want his attention.
Oh, yes. Got a new alert. Thank you, Carly, to the membership. Welcome, Carly. Welcome the new Shane Shoulder. Damn it. Welcome the new Shane Soldier. Carly. I don't know, words are hard sometimes, guys. W in the chat, guys, for Carly. We got Spider Mike here, guys. Spider Mike is here, guys. Oh my God, it's about to go down. that interview he had with, not an interview, that altercation, not an altercation. I don't know what you want to call it, maybe discussion he had with David Medina a while back. That was quite hilarious. He tried to be an asshole. Medina was really nice to him the whole time. And then, I don't know, Spider Mike must have felt bad and actually started talking to him. Interesting situation. Thank you, Carly. I appreciate it so much. I know I've seen you on here a lot. I'm glad that you subscribed as a member. We will be Meal Team 6. Yep. We'll be doing some special. I'm still trying to, you know, get my member numbers up. I don't know where I'm at now. I think as soon as I get to about 50 members, I'll start doing some members only chats, you know, members only videos. I'll be doing my regular videos and everything like normal, but just want to add a little bit more to it. Welcome, Laura. I appreciate that, Laura. Welcome, Laura, to the soldier chat. A new Shane soldier. Laura, my good pal, Laura. Yep. Everybody, W for Laura. We love Laura. We love Laura. Yep. Some people got gifted that. Tabby, how does it feel? Barbara, don't worry. At any moment, somebody can get a free one.
Well, guys, I am going to call it a night early. My dog, she's acting crazy, so I got to go check on her. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Time's up, my little heathens. Harley's gotta cause more trouble. Thanks for the chaos.